Hey folks, Axel here. Today I'll be reviewing Hunter x Hunter episode 78, decent enough episode. First of all, the preview gave me some kind of twisted smile that was just like, really, Madhouse? A few nights ago I said that they were going to show that exact shot in the preview, and sure enough they did. It's just like them showing Hisoka getting a battle boner in Heaven's Arena back in the preview. The Chimera Ants are descending and beginning their intrusion into human territory. Kite and the group try to figure out where the Queen's arm came from and locate some currents that lead them to NGL, standing for Neo-Green Life. They're a Neo-Luddite culture that rejects technology, and smuggling any in can lead to death by execution. This is a cool idea for an area that's so inconvenient that it's actually convenient. You know, it turns around and reverses. The reason it's so inconvenient that it's convenient is because it's like the exact thing the author needed for the story, even though it's going to lead to, horribly bad consequences. The reason it's so bad is the mix that it'll have with the infestation of Chimera Ants. It's like the perfect boiling pot for them. Tanks and heavy machinery can't just take them out immediately, which is why Togashi decided to have them here for the sake of the story. Compounded with Kite saying they wouldn't even do anything about it, it makes the situation feel more helpless. We get some insights into the Chimera Ants adopting ideas of competition and Kurt's obeying the Queen, which is most likely because of the trait of a child obeying his mother without question. That's probably why he's the one who obeys her with an iron will the most. We got some kinda cruel scenes that weren't in the manga about the mother grieving over her children and searching the forest every day with a sullen, bony face. Madhouse is just intent on hammering us over the head with this till we look just like that grieving mother, huh? Kurt recognizes his mother for a bit in the invasion and skips over her to the next victim. Alright, seriously, isn't this just kind of stabbing the wound? It's not like she's going to be reunited with her children. Personally, if I was a mother, I'd rather think they just vanished than have a really high probability chance of them being eaten by monsters. We get some expansion on a concern the ants have in the manga about being shot in the face, and Madhouse actually shows it with a cool ambush scene. Immediate suspicion should arise about NGL's true nature because of the guns. Compounding this, we also learn about D squared being produced in Neo Green Life. Madhouse may call it DD, but I'm going to call it D squared for the rare times it's mentioned. Bubblegum Girl says in a blasé way that anyone who tries to investigate the drug is executed, which means execution isn't just for technology, but also for things that serve the country's own purposes. Suspicious. We learn about a new type of hunter in the next scene, the Beast Hunter, which is an additional scene not in the manga about how Pakal and Ponzu decide to go to NGL. You probably remember Ponzu, the blue-haired girl with the globe hat type thing. She was the one who was trapped in the cave with Gon when he got bitten by a bunch of snakes. People who are watching this for the first time, you should not let these suspiciously calm scenes fool you. You already learned this from what happened with the kids. Anyway, that was what I'd call good filler, as it didn't really interfere with anything in the manga and flowed naturally into the episode. And if you want to see Pakal and Ponzu again, you can go back to episode 3 and they're throughout the Hunter examine a bit. Kite is pretty reluctant to bring the kids along for the adventure. But of course they decide to go anyway because the story would be extremely boring had they not. Kite says to leave him behind if he gets in trouble. A sagely looking penguin ant and the turtle ant are using books to find out that the humans were using guns. This is very bad news. I like the upcoming scene a lot where the turtle ant requests names for himself and the other ants. The ants have been displaying individualistic behavior, so it's not really for means of capturing prey better that he wants names. He wants it so that he can be more identified as an individual. We see 3 eggs that have been incubating for a longer time than what seems normal, so it makes sense that they're the royal guards. Finally, we end the episode with some Killua and Gon. They talk about not being able to abandon Kite in a heartwarming way. This kind of reminds me of the quiz at the beginning of the series with the old ladies asking a similar question. This was a pretty good episode. The animation wasn't as amazing as last episode, but that's kind of expected. The pacing was decently slow, but I can tell you right now I don't mind that at all because in a masochistic way, I want this arc to be as long as possible. Sure, it's suffering squared, like a drug almost, but that means I get more of this show. This episode gets an A- from me because you'd find me hard-pressed to give a Hunter x Hunter episode anything less than an A.